Hey there, we are the Gratitude Girls.
The Gratitude Girls are in the house. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Catherine.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm giving special effects tonight, audible sound effects and visual sound effects. My camera is going to make me look like I'm swimming, and my audio is going to make me sound like I'm in a tunnel. So I did that just for us tonight so that we can keep our guests and our members on their feet. I
Always
love,
something, but we always figure it out, right?
I love being live, don't you?
Yes.
Yes, I'm really happy that we're here. I feel like something was missing last week. You're conditioned. Like you don't wash your hair without conditioner. You don't go a Monday without Gratitude Girls.
That's right.
When it happens, it's like I'm looking over my shoulder. Like, did I forget my keys? Did I forget my wallet? Did I forget Gratitude Girls? So I wanted to wish everyone a happy Monday and maybe just talk a little bit about where we are geographically because one never knows where you or I are going to be.
Yep. Right now, I am still in our little rental in a little town outside of Nashville.
I feel like you should start a blog called Our Little Rental.
I know, right?
It's like, and today what's happening in Our Little Rental is I've been following you. So I'm speaking to you, broadcasting live from Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, Canada. Still, that's where I am. Keep your eye on the Moving Gratitude Girls. If we made it an intention. Lori and I set an intention when we first birthed Gratitude Girls, and we said our goal is to travel the world, travel and host our shows, our coaching, our training from all over the world. And the universe took us very literally and said, poof, I'm going to give you different places to go. And we did. And we took every opportunity to take a plane, to take a trip, to be together, to go to different events together, to be in separate events at different places and still be broadcasting live and to be moving around. So, we're happy with what we wished for. We got to watch what you wish for because you get it.
Right.
We really did. And I know tonight we want to touch on a little story. I'll just give my quick version, not just because I don't want to make it little. It's a big deal. Lori and I met in 2013. And when we met in 2013, we really felt something special. And Lori tells the story so well. What I want to say is, if it weren't for that moment in time, we wouldn't be here at this moment in time. So when you're thinking about your life right now, thinking about what you're doing, know that this is setting the precedent. Precedent
Precedence.
for what's going to happen. So if you're feeling meh about what's going on, or yay, you're setting the tone. Because in 2013, Lori and I met on stage, and that moment we created what we are doing right now. And this is amazing. So I don't know if you want to touch on it, Lori, if you have a feeling about that tonight, I'll leave it up to you.
Sure, yeah, we'll just say it really quickly. So, the long story short is Catherine and I didn't even know each other. And in 2013, we met on stage in front of thousands of people. Catherine was getting an award, and then I got an award too. And so we literally knew, though, that there's no coincidences in life, there's always reasons for something that happens. And so, literally, in that instant, 2 minutes tops, Gratitude Girls was born. And here we are, what, almost nine, right? We just had our 9th anniversary, right? Our 9th birthday.
Let me unmute myself. We did. We had our 9th birthday, and that's pretty amazing. And one of the things I wanted to share, in case you haven't watched what's going on with Lori and I, you really have to walk the walk and talk the talk. Otherwise, people just aren't going to pay attention. So we took it to a level of our show and our coaching, and it's part of our vision. And for over 7 years, we did our shows like religiously, and that's what we did. And then we started about a year and a half ago, be 2 years in December, we started our coaching. So right now we're here in this group giving a 15, 20-minute, 30-minute helps coaching, private coaching, because we want to do that thanks to Facebook rerouting us and us going on that path. And recently, if you haven't followed us, every single day, Lori and I have decided that we will write 5 things publicly that we are grateful for in as much detail as possible, so that we would still keep our audience and it would still be something that we could be authentic about. So if you wanted to see what that's about, if you want to read it, you can go to our private Facebook pages and read what we are grateful for. If that inspires you at the end of the day to take your own journal and write in your book 5 things in detail that you're grateful for, then we can stop right now. And that would be the message that we truly want to support you in, and the message that we want to give you, and the action that we want to support you in. So please go ahead and check it out. Lori and I know we read each other's, because I'm so excited to read what happened in Lori's life, and you can read what happened in mine. And tonight we're going to touch on a few topics, or one topic and a few talking points about it. Would you like to start off, unless you want to say something about our 5-point gratitude journal?
Yeah, so just the 5-point gratitude journal. So our paper copies are coming out soon, but until then, you can just get any journal from the dollar store even to write in, or you could get something really nice and fancy. I saw one time, it was like $50, had a nice leather cover on it and an engraving on it. So it's really pretty. So you could do whatever you want. But the big thing is to write 5 things specific and in detail that you are thankful and grateful for that happened that day. And so at the beginning, it really makes you think. But then after a while, you just get so attuned to it, and it's a natural part of your life. But the thing is, if you start doing that every single day, then God, the universe, God that made the universe, whatever you want to call it, brings more things to you for you to be grateful and thankful for. And so that is one huge thing that we have taught for many years about that. And so we just decided to start. We had so many people begging us to share. What do I come up with? I can't come up with 5 things, I can't think of what to say every single day. And so we just decided to go ahead and be transparent and start sharing that. So yes, you can follow us on social media to get those tips every day and get ideas of how you can add it into your life. And then tonight, we're going to talk about, most of you in this group have some sort of business, whether it's in network marketing, direct sales, a traditional business, an online business, so many different ways, especially nowadays, that women and men too, but especially women, because most of us in here are women, but can find different ways to make money from home, or make a second side income, whatever you want to do. And so we're just going to give you some tips on doing that. And so I'll start with the first one. So the first one is share your company, the products, and the features and benefits of it. So if you don't tell other people what you're offering, then they're not going to know what you're offering, right? So if you're proud of it, you need to share it with other people. That doesn't mean that you hound people down. It doesn't mean that you go to the family reunion and say, this is the new thing that I'm doing, right? So you don't catch people in Walmart turning the other way, but you still share it with people to let them know what you're doing and the features and benefits of why you're doing it. If you truly believe in your product or your service, then share why it's helpful. What is it going to be good for them for?
Right. Side hustles are a thing. The last 2 years, the last 13 years, the last 15 years, if you are in a side hustle, if you do have a side hustle, then you can absolutely relate to us. If your network marketing is your primary business, you may have another side hustle. Either way, we're going to talk about this in general, whether it's your full-time or part-time business. I was laughing when you said people walk away from you in Walmart. That's pretty funny. It's like, oh no, there he is, or there she is. Go the other way. Don't let them see us. So the number 2 talking point is be 100% honest about the business opportunity. How many times do you hear, you're going to get rich quick. You're going to make $10,000 in the first week. You're going to make $50,000 in the first month. You're going to be the star. All right, let's talk about not being deceptive. Let's talk about being really honest. Let people know what they can do. If they can earn $50, $100, $500, $1,000 by doing XYZ, say, if you do this, this will happen. If you can do this in this period of time, this is what will happen in this company. Give them a short-term goal as opposed to how rich they're going to be and the big castle they're going to live in and how many cars they're going to give away to all their friends. Because we really can't say that that's what that opportunity is going to bring them. So be 100% honest about the business opportunity.
Right. Yes. And the next thing, and it kind of goes a little bit with the first thing that I said, but it's just look for the people that are in your target market, right? So if you're selling skincare for women, then men aren't your target market, right? So you might still have skincare for men, but if you're marketing for the skincare for women, then that's who you want to focus on, right? If you're selling something for babies and newborns, then you're not going to market somebody that's in their 50s and 60s unless they're buying something for their grandkids. But so you want to find the market that targets what you're offering. And then you want to, go after that, proactively look for people in that area. But the same thing, not trying to go after just anybody. So a lot of people out there say, same thing. I'll just use the skincare for an example. If you have skin, you need to be my customer. That's not true, right? So, yes, that product might help anybody that has skin, but you need to find out your target market, figure out your industry and what you're good at and focus on that and key in on those people and make your campaigns or your marketing worded to those ways.
Love that. Okay, so listen to what I'm going to say, and then I know you're going to have an opinion about it. Approach your friends and family. Yes, I said it. Approach your friends and family. Now, let me give you a context to that. By letting the people that you know and the people that know you, your friends and your family, by letting them know what you're doing and how you're doing it, approach in a subtle way, your friends and your family will let you know if they're interested. If they're not, there'll be no loss. So that doesn't mean going, hey, if you sign up for this thing and you help me, then I'll get my next promotion. That's not a subtle way. That's not telling your friends and family what you're doing. So think of your friends and family as your next potential customer and how you want them to hear you, how you want to be heard. Practice good business acumen and share subtly, not walking in with a mask on your face saying, this is the mask, not taking a pill and putting it in someone's mouth, not taking a card and putting it in front of their face. Ask, would you like to send a card? Are you able at this moment to talk to me? Are you interested for me to share about my awesome lip gloss? Would you like to know more about the water I drink? I'm trying to talk about all the people that we coach and we talk to, so I hit all the categories. We want to make sure that we can ask people's permission if you're interested in listening, and please approach subtly. People will let you know if they're not interested. If everybody tells you they're not interested, perhaps you want to find out a little bit more about your approach.
Right, exactly. But then on that same note, you have to tell people, right? The same thing. If people don't know, then you're not going to ever make sales. Right. So you have to find creative ways to tell people. So you could design a website if you wanted. I've been designing websites since 1993. And back in the day, it was great because there was very few platforms out there to create a website, and they were hard, the ones that were. So I had a great niche at the time, right? I could create websites for people and I charged people for that and did very well with that. Nowadays, there's lots of different programs. That's it, simple drag and. So we have, and one of the things that we do is the stream marketing Catherine and I have with our company, and it allows you to create a website, little simple drag and drop. If you're interested in that, you could let either one of us know about that. But you can do that. You can also create a social media account, right? So you could do it on your own personal wall, of course. But you can also create a website, a social media account for your company or your product. If you do it on your own personal wall, the thing is, show, like, one thing I like to do is I like to talk about like testimonials, talk about different things of how your product fixes some sort of problem that someone else has, and post that, a testimonial on that. Those are things that are going to get people to read it that might realize, like I had with Catherine and mine's company that we have, one of the products is send out cards, most of you know. And so I had a client one time that she was friends with me for over 15 years, knew that I was in this company for that long. They had moved and she wanted to announce that they had moved with cards, postcards going to people. And she texted me and asked me if I did that because she saw a post that I had posted similar about that. So think of different creative ways that someone might use your product or service and then create a testimonial around that. Always ask your current clients for testimonials for that purpose. And then you can also create an email list, or you can join groups that might cater to that industry, right? So if you're just, for example, like with our company and Send Out Cards, we have some of our affiliates that focus on the real estate industry. So you might join groups in that. You might join groups in the financial services industry. So think of different groups that would correlate to find people that would go with your product or service.
Right. We focus on gratitude. So in our business, you might not find that in others. We're focusing on the act of gratitude. And if that's unique to you, then ask us a little bit more about how you can implement that in your life. I love that you post your testimonials. It's so inspirational, Lori. It really makes me think. Thank you. Thank you for that. And that's so much better than using scripts. Like, please do not use scripts. And let me explain why. Pretend this is a script. You know, and I'm using it. Maybe I'm reading it. Not only that, you're going to feel that it's scripted. So how about this? And I'm not saying anything about anybody that uses this, but I just need to say it. How about this 60-day challenge? Okay, it's a script. If you tell me I'm going to do something for 60 days and it's going to be challenging, I'm not going to do it. Now, if I tell you that I started reading a book February 24th and on the 28th, I started a food plan, or February 24th, I started a food plan, and 4 months later, 120 days, I've released this amount of weight, and I feel like that's a little different than you telling me I'm going to follow something that it feels like I'm running uphill and I have no point of reference or context. So in real life, I have 120 days that I'm doing something and it feels amazing. If I asked you to follow me for 120 days or 90 days or 60 days or 30 days, you might say, I'm a little busy. When are we going to do that? How's that going to work? When do I talk to you? When are you going to talk to me? So I would say don't use any scripts. Scripts are not useful for personalized interactions, to be specific.
Yes. And also, so a lot of people talk about inspiring others or motivating others. There's a difference though. When you inspire someone, you are connecting with them personally and on that personal level. So, you know, motivating someone is great, but inspiring someone is even greater. Connect with your audience on a more personal level. Like Catherine and I, so many times in so many different areas, we are very transparent. You see into our lives a lot, but that allows us to connect with our following so much better in so much better ways. We get messages all the time talking about that, and where people talk to us about that. Show people do things, what you really believe in. So don't just talk about it, right? Show actually how you do it. Show how you maneuver something in your company's back office. Show how you use that makeup that makes you look so beautiful. Start from scratch with a blank canvas, right? And do your makeup totally from scratch if you're selling makeup, right? So do things to show people all the steps, not just the finished product.
I love that. Go to the end. Recognize avid efforts. Normally, when someone jumps into a new level, they get promoted. You know what that's like. However, valiant efforts should be recognized too. People love being recognized for the effort as well as the result. So perhaps you didn't make that promotion. Perhaps you didn't make the VIP list. Perhaps you tried really hard, but you tried, you didn't do it. And you might feel really bad. I know what Lori and I's life are like when we are going for VIP. I can tell you, we can move mountains because we almost within ourselves do not accept that that will not happen. Nevertheless, it's important to really recognize people for all of their efforts.
And then things that you have success on, share those with your team. So anything that works for you, share it with your team. Don't just say, look at me, look at where I'm at, because one, you wouldn't have got where you're at without your team helping you to get there. So, but the things that work for you, and also the things that don't work for you. I tried this Facebook ad and it was a total flop. This is what I said, don't do this, right? So show people what works and show people what doesn't work. Be honest and real with them so they don't waste money on the things that don't work, and you help them with the things that actually do work. Become that example, become a master of successful ideas that you share with your team, because you never know, something that worked for you will probably work for someone in your team that's going to help them, which is going to help you in the long run anyway.
I love that. Invest time and attention to hear them out. Think about that. Invest time and attention to hear them out. Know those in your team for more than their jobs. Know their interests, their families, their hobbies. Build a real connection. Take your time, answer questions, recognize the hard work, and support them while things get tough, because, they just might get tough. And this is all responsibility, your responsibility as a leader.
Right, exactly. And with that, help them to write down their goals, because different people have different goals. There's some people that want to make an extra $50 a month. There's some people that want to make an extra $500 a month. There's some people that want to make $5,000 a month and make that their plan A, right? So help people write down their goals. When I first started in direct sales, I was one of those that wanted to make $500 extra a month, so my kid's dad didn't have to work a second job and I could help support the family. I never dreamed back then I would get to where I'm at today. But the thing is, different people have different goals. And yes, their goals can change over time, but help them to figure out their goals and help them to write them down and help them to be measurable, that they can actually get. The saying, if your mind can believe it, you can achieve it. But if they're making $1 a month or nothing a month, and their goal is $1 million, that's not what their mind can believe. right? So help them to write down measurable goals, right? So if they're at 0, help them to write down to have a goal of 500 a month. Yes, that might not pay all their bills, but it's going to help them and help their mind to be able to see that once they hit that 500 or get close to it, they can change that to then 1,000 or 5,000 a month, right? So you can always change your goals and you can write them and make them bigger. My goals now are way different than they were when I was 20 years old, right? So different times of life also you have different goals. So, but write down, ask them what their goals are and help them to write them down and help them to think of ones that are achievable.
That's really going to help when we're talking about, multi-level businesses are not easy. So it's going to help when you know your goals and you understand your why, because following up with that 100% honest policy that we talked about earlier, your team members should know that network marketing is not easy. It involves hard work. It might seem like it involves less work since you get to work on your own terms, work from home, make your hours, do what you want, but it all depends on your daily organization. Prospecting, following up, training, support, prospecting again can take quite a lot of your time. If you're not organized, if you don't have a system, multi-level or any businesses are not easy. So let that honest policy, that honesty comes first policy, be the thing that you walk in the door with so that your team members really know that you're looking out for them by giving them your perspective and that you're there to support them.
Yes. And on that, also be persistent, not annoying, but persistent. There's a difference, right? Be consistent. Talk to other people. You need to be prospecting all the time, looking for new customers, looking for new people that you could introduce into your company. You should be networking. You could be giving presentations. It doesn't matter what avenue you choose to find people, but you need to find ways to find people. I have a friend that she would go to her daughter's softball games and sit in the stands, but she would end up talking to the ladies around her that would be a perfect fit for her company. So wherever you find people, that's great. The thing is, be persistent about it and be consistent about it, right? So don't shove it down people's throat, but of course you have to tell them, like we said before, but you also have to consistently find ways that you're going to find more people to put into your pipeline to present it to.
Love that. Okay, now think about this fourth. I feel like it's a fourth thing. Think about this 14th talking point. Keep making new friends. We want to do that anyway, right? In life, we want to have bigger networks. We want to meet new people. We want to hear what they have to say. We want to tell them things. It goes two ways. So to become successful when you help others means that you become successful, right? You become successful when you help others to become successful. That's really the key. Here's the key. The key to success is help others. Zig Ziglar. Now, with that said, you should advise others to keep making friends as much as they can too, because they never know when they're in front of a real opportunity. So you don't say like, here I am, you've made it, success, yay, let's just go take some time off and let's just sit back and relax and we did it, keep making friends because the momentum picks up. And it's really important not only to say it, but to do it ourselves.
Right. Yes. And that's not to say that you can never take time off, right? Like I stepped back a lot when I first got married, obviously, right? So got married after being 8 years widowed. And, I was working a lot because I love what I do. But to add someone in my life, I needed to step back a little bit. But I still kept making friends. I still kept talking to people. And then the last thing is if you've loved all these tips and you still need a little bit of help, that's where a coach that has been there before can help you do that. So Catherine and I both have built very successful businesses. We've got the track record to prove it. That's another huge thing too, is there's lots of coaches out there that don't have the track record to prove it. So before you hire a coach, make sure you check their track record. See if they've got the actual proof to stand behind it, right? If they've actually been out there doing what you're wanting to do. But if you are, you can get 2 coaches for the price of 1, gratitudegirls.com/coaching. You can check that out. We do have a little try it on for size because girls love to try things on, right?
I love that you talk about that, because what's really important is you look at what somebody has. You look if they've achieved what you want to achieve. And you can, when you look at your social media and you look at your website, you do sort of a survey, you review things. Well, when you're looking at something that you want to do, when you hire a contractor, you interview a few of them, you look for references, you see if they speak to you the way that you want to be spoken to, if they speak your language. So when it comes to coaching and getting something done, you want to do the same thing. You want to see if there's a resonance, if you're in alignment. And if you are in alignment with the coach or the coaches, in this case, we'd like to say that you're getting more. And sometimes, more doesn't mean like more of the same thing, but as much as Lori and I are very much in alignment, we do have perspectives that you'll be able to hear 2 different perspectives in the same session, coaching session. When you feel that, and you've checked off all the boxes. Yes, this is what my coach wants, what I want in my coach has that. This is what my coach wants, and I agree with that. When all the boxes are checked off and your intuition tells you that that's the right thing, go for it.
Yes, absolutely. So once again, if you have any questions, if you want to know more, go to gratitudegirls.com/coaching. Also, you can send us a message at facebook.com/gratitudegirls. Click on message right there and it goes to Catherine and I both, and we will get back with you.
Now, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to go into our private dining room. I'm looking at the time, so I'm going to say maybe we can go right there. And if you're part of our private coaching, you want to join us on that side?
Yes, absolutely. And if you're not sure about that, the same thing, gratitudegirls.com/coaching, read all about it there and come join us in our private dining room next week. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.